Morning guys, welcome to Maths for this week. So we're going to start something new for Maths today. Year 1s and Year 2s, you're all doing the same thing. We're going to be dividing objects equally by sharing. That's our objective for today. So in order to be able to do that, we need to be able to count objects really carefully. You're going to be using some physical resources. You need to understand what the word sharing actually means. And then we're going to have a go at solving some problems. And solving problems will also go into tomorrow's lesson as well. Okay, so I'm actually going to talk a little bit at the end of this video about what tomorrow's activity is, although there won't be a separate video for tomorrow. So you're going to need to hang on at the end just to watch that last little bit. So, first of all then, before we start, I want you just to you're going to need a couple of things. First of all, I want you to have a go at the 4 questions on the screen at the moment. Okay, so you can pause the video and have a go. I will read the questions out for you. But you're also going to need a group, probably about 20 Lego bricks or 20 cubes or 20 objects of some kind, 20 bits of pasta, anything that you can use to do your maths with today. So the first thing, let's have a look at these 4 questions. What multiplication is shown here with the fish? Okay, something times something equals 15. Okay, remember that times sign means groups of. So how many groups of what have we got to make 15 here? Alex buys a t-shirt and a cap. The t-shirt costs £5. The cap costs £4. She pays with a £10 note. How much money does she get back? Question number 3. Use less than, more than, or equal to compare these amounts. So you've got this amount here, which is the bigger one. And then half of 10 is what? Okay, so pause the video and go have a go at doing these questions. Go and get yourself some resources and then come back when I go through the answers. Off you go. Okay then, let's go through the answers. So here we have one group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a group of 5. Here we have a group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here we have a group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we have 3 groups, because that's what the X means, groups of 5, which makes 15. Okay. Alex buys a t-shirt for £5 and a cap for £4. So first of all, we need to add these together. So 5 add 4 equals what? Equals 9 number bonds. Okay, but she pays with £10 note. How much money does she get back? Then what you're going to do is you're doing 10 take away 9 equals, which again is our number bonds. The answer is £1. Using less than, more than, or equal to, compare amounts. So what you've got to do is you've got to work out how much each side has got first. So 6 add 2 add 3. Well, 6 add 2 is 8. Add another 3, that's 9, 10, 11. And then here you've got 7 and 3, which is 10 number bonds, plus another 3, so that makes 13. Which is bigger? Remember, the crocodile always eats the bigger number. That's the bigger number. So we can say that 11 is less than 13. Half of 10 is what? The easiest way to do this is to draw 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Half is putting it into 2 groups. So I'm going to draw a line down the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the answer is 5. The answer is that one as well. So those are the answers to our 4 flashback questions. Okay, I'm going to do one of these for every day this week at the start. So hopefully you've got those resources ready because you're going to need them. So first of all, I have a question for you. It says, has the cucumber been shared out equally? So does each plate have the same amount of cucumber? Well, let's just check. This one has 1, 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 and 1, and 1, and 1, and 1. So is it been shared out equally? Yes, because they are all equal groups. Okay, and that is what division and that is what sharing is. You're dividing up your amount into groups. Okay, so division equals sharing. So here I have some cubes of chocolate. How many do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want you to get 6 objects, whether it's pasta, cubes, Lego bricks, dolls, cuddly toys. You need 6 of something. Okay, and we are going to share it out equally between this boy here, whose name is Bob, and this girl here, whose name's Helen. Okay, so we want to make it so that Helen and Bob have exactly the same number bits of chocolate. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to do it. So the best way of doing it is thinking, right, Bob is a group, Helen is a group. So the easiest way of doing this is 1 to Bob, 1 to Helen. 1 to Bob, 1 to Helen. So it's almost like they're taking turns to take one of the objects each. Okay, another 1 to Bob and another 1 to Helen. I've got rid of them all now. So Bob has 3 and Helen has 3. So what we can say here is that both children have 3 pieces of chocolate, or that 6 bits of chocolate can be shared equally among 2 people so that they get 3 each. That is what division is. Division, look, we're taking an amount and we're sharing it out between a number of groups. The answer is getting smaller. The number in each group will be smaller because we are sharing it out. Okay, so it's the opposite of multiplication, where you've got a certain number of groups to begin with and you're bringing those groups together to make a whole. We're doing the opposite, which is taking a whole and splitting it into groups equally. So if I go back to here, we had 10 bits of cucumber and we shared it equally out amongst the plates, so they all got 1 each. Here we had 6 bits of chocolate. We shared them out equally between 2 people. They both got 3 each. Okay, let's just go through a couple of other things before I send you on your way for your activity. Here I have some marbles, and we want to share them equally among 3 groups. Here's my groups. Okay. We want to know how many is going to go in each group. And again, just like I did with the chocolate, the easiest way is to move 1 into each group at a time. So you're going to do it with me, okay? So with whatever cubes you've got or whatever resources you've got in front of you, we are going to put 1 in there, 1 into the next group, and 1 into the next group. And we're going to keep repeating that until we've got no marbles left. So you can do it at the same pace that I'm doing it. You don't have to pause the video. So 1 in there, 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 1 in there. So I've got none left. So in this group, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. In this group, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And in this group, I have 4. So I know I've shared it out equally. So I can say that 12 marbles, because that's how many marbles I had to start with, can be shared equally into 3 groups of 4. Simple as that. Okay, let's have another question. This one's a bit trickier. Okay, so I've got marbles again. So Caris needs to share her marbles equally. She has 10 marbles. Her friends have some containers she can put marbles into. So Neelam has 3 boxes she can put her marbles into. Jake has 4 bags. And Carl has 5 baskets. Which friend bearing in mind she needs to do it equally, which friend do you think will have the right number of boxes, bags or baskets? And you can explain your choice. So we're going to work it out. So we're going to start with Neelam. So we need 10, and you're going to need it at home. You're going to need 10 objects. So let me get my 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's just do them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, there's my 10 marbles. We're going to see if we can put them into 3 boxes. So 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups. There's my 3 boxes. Okay, and I'm going to keep doing this until I run out of marbles. 2 in a box. Let's try and put 3 in a box. So there's 3 in a box, but I've got 1 left over. And if I put it into this one's got 4 and the others have got 3. Or this one's got 4 and the others have got 3. Or this one's got 4. So they're not equal. So we can't use Neelam's 3 boxes. What about 4 bags for Jake? So let's just move these over here. Let's just move these over here. It's so much easier when you can just grab them all together and put them back into one group. So there's my 10 marbles. This time I'm going to have 4 groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to keep going again, see if I can share them out equally. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 2 in a group, 2 in a group, 2 in a group, 2 in a group, but I've only got 2 left over. So no matter where I put these 2, the groups aren't equal. So therefore, Jake can't be right either. So let's just check to see if Carl is right. So we're going to move our marbles back over here again. And this time we're going to have 5 groups. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it's going to work. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to move these over a bit. I can put a 5th one in the middle. So 1 over there, 1 over here, 1 over here, 1 over here, and 1 over here. Oh, look, I've run out of marbles. But they've all got 2 in a group. 2, 2, 2, 2. So Carl is correct, because I can put my 10 marbles into 5 baskets. 10, 2, and 5 times tables. 5 groups of 2 equals 10, which is what I've got here now. So there is a link between multiplication and division. We've shared out the 10 marbles into 5 different groups, and there's 2 in a group. Right then. So I want you just to pause the video in a minute after I've explained this and have a go. You're going to need 16 objects this time. Whitney has 16 flowers. She shares them equally between some vases. How many different ways can Whitney share her flowers to make equal groups? Okay, so how many vases is she going to need? So you've got to pick a number. Okay, could they all fit in one vase? Well, yes. Could they fit into 2 vases? Maybe. 3 vases? You can try it. Try putting it into 3 groups. Have a go at putting it into 4 groups. And keep going. I would say spend 5 minutes on this. Just see how many different ways you can split that 16. Okay? And then I will tell you the answer in a minute. So pause the video now. Okay. So they will all fit into one group because all the flowers can go in one vase. Be a bit cramped, but you could do it. You could do it into 2 groups because it's an even number. Even numbers can be split into 2 groups. 3 groups wouldn't work. 4 groups would. 5 groups wouldn't. So no to 3, no to 5. 6 groups wouldn't work. Neither would 7. 8 groups would. 9 groups wouldn't. Anything else after this wouldn't work unless you had 16 groups, a bit like the cucumber at the beginning. So you could have 1, 2, 4 groups, 8 groups or 16 groups. Nothing else would work because they wouldn't be equal then. I'm not going to show you every single way, I'm just telling you the answer. So, your tasks for today then. So some of you will have this sheet, mainly year ones, will have this sheet stuck in your book. And it says, Rosie and Amir are sharing some sweets. Draw lines to share the sweets equally. And this is another easy way of doing it, especially if you haven't got the resources in front of you. So you're going to put one line, 1 sweet to Rosie, 1 sweet to Amir, 1 sweet to Rosie, and you're going to keep going until you've run out of sweets. And then you're going to tell me how many each one is got, and then it says 8 sweets shared equally between 2 people is, and that will be the same answer. Then do the same thing with the grapes on this question. And then here it's got Ron needs to share 20 bananas between 5 boxes. How many bananas will there be in each box? So you might want to get 20 objects and share them into 5 different groups, and that will give you the answer. There is also another little bit extra on that question on this sheet, but I'm not going to explain that to you. You should be able to read that and you'll be fine. Year 2s have got something slightly different. Okay, so again, you've got Annie has apples. She shares them equally. Can you draw the apples to show that they are shared out? Please don't draw lines because it gets really confusing. Actually draw out the apples. And when you've drawn an apple, I would put a cross through it. Okay. First one goes in there. Next one goes into this one. And so on until you've run out of apples. Then you can finish off the boxes. Complete the sentences. There are 12 apples. There are how many boxes? How many apples in each box? Take 20 cubes. Share them equally into 2 groups. How many groups are there? How many cubes? And then you're going to take those 20 cubes and put them into 5 groups. How many groups? How many cubes? You can share 20 into other equal groups. Is this true? Yes or no? And I want you to get the 20 cubes. I want you to have a go. See which ones you can do. That is it. The activity is quite easy today. Shouldn't take you very long, which is why I'm going to move on to the next bits. So you also have a problem solving activity, which is just a true or false. So that's all you need to write on the piece of paper. You don't have to explain it. It says the strawberries have been shared equally. True or false? Yes or no? Simple as that. Right, that is Monday's activities done. I do just want to have a quick talk about what you're going to do tomorrow. You're going to be using Rucksack. Now, we've all used Rucksack before, but it's been a while since we've used it. So I wanted to go through it with you as a group. So Rucksack stands for, the R stands for read the problem carefully. The U stands for underline the keywords and numbers. The C says cross out what you don't need, or calculation. You're going to write the calculation. Solve the problem, write out the question and do the calculation. Answer the question to show you're working, and then check your answer. Does it make sense? So read the question. I have 16 slices of pizza. I want to share them between 4 people. How many do I get each? Okay, I've done this one. I've done the reading. Underline the keywords and numbers. I have 16 slices of pizza. I want to share. The word share tells us that we're going to be doing some dividing between 4 people. So that's the number of groups we're going to need. How many do they get each? So now what you want to do is solve and answer. Cross out what you need. We don't need to worry about that one. So first of all, I'm going to draw 16 slices of pizza. 1, 2. And I want you to do this when you come to do your problem solving tomorrow. I mean, to be fair, you could, if you've not done You could have tomorrow's maths lesson off if you did it today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's my 16 slices of pizza. I now need 4 groups. So I'm going to put 4 plates. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And I want to share these out equally. So that one's going to go there. That one's going to go there. That one's going to go there. And that one's going to go there. And I do the same again. 1, 2. No, that one's going to go there. That one's going to go there. 1. So each one now has 3 bits of pizza on a plate. There, and there. If you do this with actual physical resources, but then show you're working in the space on your problems, it would be fine. So each one has 1, 2, 3. That has 4 lines going to it. That has 4 lines going to it. That has 4 lines going to it. That has 4. If you haven't got 4 lines, or if you haven't got the same lines for each plate or for each bit, for each group, then you've made a mistake somewhere. That's where the checking comes into it. If you have got the same, that's the answer. Okay, let's have a look at another one then. This time I've actually got some tennis balls to help me. So there are 10 tennis balls. They need to be shared between 2 tubes. How many do we get? How many in each tube? So there's my one. I'm going to get 10 tennis balls, okay? So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's my 10 tennis balls. I need some tubes. So there's one tube. There's another tube, okay? And we're going to share them equally. What I didn't do was do the rucksack properly. So we read the question, we underlined the key words. So we've got 10 tennis balls. They need to be shared between 2 tubes. So we're going to do 10 divided by, or shared between 2 groups, which is why I've got my 10 tennis balls and my 2 groups. 1 tennis ball there, 1 tennis ball there, 1 and 1, 1 and 1. And we're going to keep doing this till I've run out of tennis balls. 1 and 1, 1 and 1. Oh, look at that. I've got no tennis balls left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here. So the answer is how many in each tube? The answer is 5. So you have shown you're working every single time. Please don't just write the answer. You need to be able to show you're working. It's really important that you do it now, because when you go into year 3 and further up Key Stage 2, you have to show you're working for every question. So please don't just write the answer, even if you know it in your head. And that is it. That equips you for tomorrow's problem solving lesson as well. Okay, go back over it tomorrow if you need to. If you really want to just go ahead and do the questions now, go ahead and do it. It just depends on how long it takes you to do the other parts. Okay, and we'll see you back on Wednesday, where we're talking about where we're going to do division in a different way.